Hello there, Internet. Mogwai here, and I got yet another MTG Arena video for you guys today. As today we shall answer the question, are rats finally good? I believe they are, as today we have the Bubonic Plague, a Dimir rat deck that has been putting up some amazing results for me. And I think Bloom Barrow has finally pushed this archetype to a level where it can compete against other decks in Standard, because that's been one of the things that has plagued the rat archetype for as long as I can remember. You know, it's not like I'm the most veteran Magic the Gathering player, but I did play extensively, not only now, but also like 5 years ago. I dived into Standard for well over a year, and I experienced rats. You know, I saw the rats in the card pool, but I was always disappointed by rats because unfortunately with rats you always manage to get like these one or two cases of like really good cards, but then everything else supporting it just was not up to the task. And ultimately rats never really became a serious deck within Standard through the time that I've been playing. Maybe like a bunch of years ago, or in the gap where I wasn't playing, that wasn't the case. But from my own perspective, as limited as it may be, rats have always seemed underwhelming. But Bloom Barrow has really changed that. Not necessarily because of the inclusion of cards like Ren the Relentless, who honestly, so far, has not really impressed me too much as a card, to be honest, but more so because of the 2-drops that we got from this expansion, specifically the 3 that we're running right here. The Persistent Marsh Stalker, the Shoreline Looter, and the Azure Beastbinder. These creatures are extremely high quality. Azure Beastbinder does a lot more than it seems that it's doing. It's able to just put in the work and become extremely reliable in any sort of like matchup, really. Like you think like aggressive matchups, for example, like mono red, being able to shut down the prowess or any of the keywords that they have built up with their auras, or the monster token, everything can be shut down with the Azure Beastbinder whenever we attack, which is amazing. We can shut down stuff like Shieldred the Apocalypse as well. Gix, you know, amongst like all sorts of matchups, there's always key creatures for us to target, or potentially even artifacts, which we can target as well, and planeswalkers too. Like the fact that Azure Beastbinder can just shut down a planeswalker by attacking and just nullifying its abilities until your next turn is incredible. So this is definitely a card that puts in the work and earned its spot on the thumbnail in today's video. I was planning on using Ren for the thumbnail, but man, the Azure Beastbinder just came in and never disappointed. But not only this card, the Shoreline Looter cannot be blocked. It's a very weak creature, but because it cannot be blocked, its ability is really powerful. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. If you match the threshold, you're going to be able to just do that, draw a card. If not, you have to discard a card after to the graveyard, which will help you build towards the threshold. Because that's what this deck is essentially built to around, the threshold mechanic. We want to be milling ourselves and filling up that graveyard so we can reach that sweet number 7, and then we get a bunch of perks off of that. Not only from the Shoreline Looter, but also from the likes of the Mind Whisker, which I like against swarm tactics like rabbits or Boros Mouse. I was gonna say mouse, but then I said mice, and I said mice. Boros, mice, rabbits, Boros, Convoke, etc. Any sort of strategy that revolves around spreading out a bunch of tokens. This card can shut down the offensive pressure from that kind of board really, really efficiently by meeting the threshold, and also allowing you to surveil at the beginning of your upkeep every turn. That is what the Mind Whisker is here to do as a 2 of. And then another threshold card that we have, and perhaps the most important one, is the Persistent Marsh Stalker, a 2-mana 3/1 that gets +1 power for each other rat you control. And if we match the threshold, whenever we attack with 1 or more rats, we can pay 3 mana and spawn this dude from the graveyard onto the battlefield attacking. And again, +1 power for each rat on the board. So the offensive burst that this deck is capable of will really throw players off guard most often than not. And Persistent Marsh Stalker, because he has an effect that allows him to come back from the graveyard, allows us to benefit from our self-milling even further, and from Shoreline Looter discarding cards. That's also why we're also running a couple of copies of Bitter Triumph, because we can use it to discard the Persistent Marsh Stalker, for example, and build up towards the threshold, though we are also running Go for the Throat and Shoot the Sheriff as well. And that's essentially the deck. A rat package, mostly creature-based, and then some slots in for good old 2-mana, instant speed, black-based single target removal. I used a lot of words for that. Probably could have not done so, but I think you understand what I'm saying, and that's what matters. This deck is held together by a card that is not from the Bloombarrow expansion, though. The most key card in this deck, I would say, it's not even Lord Skitter, which is an amazing card. Like, Lord Skitter is actually one of those cases of a card that has rat synergy, but is so good on its own that doesn't really need to be incorporated onto a rat deck to actually justify its slot. Because he's that good, it's a snowballing engine that must be answered eventually and that allows you to attack the graveyard, which can be backbreaking in certain matchups. But that's not the key, that's not the star of this deck. The star of this deck is the Phyrexian Rat. Karamonix, the Rat King. Really living up to his name in this build. 3-mana, 3/3, legendary Phyrexian Rat creature with Toxic 1, an ability that gives your rats Toxic 1 as well. But the important thing is the following text. When Karamonix enters, you get to look at the top 5 cards of your library, and then you may reveal any number of rat cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. This is a crazy effect. The power level of this effect, comparing this card to other 3-drops, is absurd. The only reason this card exists in its current form is because it's synergizing with rats, which have been deemed inherently weak for a long time. But now that we got some actual real cards to back up a tribal deck of this nature, this 3-drop is ridiculous. Like, I've had this guy draw me, like, very easily, like 4 rats. I play a 3-drop and I get to pick up 4 rats. And I just do not run aghast. Like, this guy also feels amazing in this meta because there's so many people in Best of 1 right now playing mono black discard that having cards like this that just allow you to completely rebuild your hand is backbreaking for them. And this card is an absolute 4-of. I'd run more copies of it if I could. It's just incredible. Even if it is a legendary creature, the card draw effect is so strong that it just justifies you running a full set of it, and he really is the king of the deck. The toxic effect is also very nice because there are some matchups in which we may be halted by just bigger creatures, but we have stuff like the Shoreline Looter and Azure Beastbinder, which can get under them, and we can potentially work for a poison win condition all of a sudden without having any other card in our deck synergize with that. But that is an alternative win condition that this card also provides us for. So I don't know what more you can ask out of a 3-drop, to be honest. It's just absolute bananas. I can't even English. Basically, this card is very, very good and better than Vren the Relentless. I've tried to... the idea with Vren here is we have a 4-drop with Ward that's a rat that can generate us more power if we manage to combine it with either a strong attack that forces our opponent to block with some of their creatures or some of our single target removal. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know if I've ever actually spawned a rat out of this thing. It's sad to say, but this is not the deck where this card has shined by any means, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, I would have definitely used them for the thumbnail, but I don't want to misguide you in that case. So yeah, definitely like the weakest card in this shell, which is... I'm pretty sure he has another home, but perhaps... I don't know, like something a bit different. Because the requirement is just difficult to meet, but it does present a must kind of like answer threat for the opponent. But I'd argue that something like Lord Skitter is just netting you that value way faster. And yeah, that's where I stand with it. As that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deck list right there. When it comes to lands, we have 3 copies of the Lilypad Village. The reason why we're running this over stuff like Islands is because if you look at our deck, you'll see that every single card that requires a source of blue mana is a creature. So we can cast any one of our cards with this card, and this card allows us to surveil 2 in a pinch by developing a rat on that same turn, which is very easy for us to do through many of our creatures here. We don't even have to play a creature. If we have Lord Skitter on the board, we can already trigger this requirement. And surveilling 2 is really important for our threshold. And, to be able to draw properly and also to send something like Persistent Marstalker to the graveyard, all that stuff. That's why we run this as a 3-of. We run a 1-off of Mudflat Village, though we really focus on the swamps to make sure that we can also cast our instant speed removal. We got a couple of copies of Restless Reef because self-milling ourselves is really nice, and we get a man land in the process. Cavern of Souls allows us to bypass counter spells for our rats, and then we have a one-off of the 3-tree city because this is definitely a deck that is able to generate more than 3 rats. And once you pass like more than 3 copies of a specific creature with a deck relatively consistently, then this land makes a lot of sense because it allows you to inherently ramp, right? Like it allows you to tap for more mana than just equating to the amount of lands that you have. And that's always very powerful, especially in a deck that has a rough time running out of gas despite a low curve because of cards like Caramonics and Shoreline Looter. We can just constantly refill our hand, and we always find use for our mana, man. If it's not for anything in our hand, it's for the Persistent Marstalker just being spawned onto the deck, so onto the battlefield. So we really value the 3-tree city as a one-off in this deck. And that's the list right there. We went, a little bit over 11 minutes talking about it, but, put a lot of thought into it. I really wanted to showcase a powerful, consistent, competitive rat deck with you guys, and I am pretty certain this is it. I've played it a lot. It's been really fun, and it's been kicking some ass. You're going to see in today's video. Shout out to the Lord Skitter's Butcher, by the way. Can generate as tokens or can allow us to draw as well in a pinch. And is a nice 3-drop to kind of like put everything together here. So yeah, love you. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily MTG Arena content. Hope you enjoy some rat gameplay. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, here we go. Let's unleash the plague. Let's play some rats and see how we do. There's a little bit of lag there, which is this is quite the norm with MTG Arena, actually. It kind of like corrects itself over time, but we're lacking a source of blue mana, but we do have removal, and we are going second. So this is a bit of a risk, but I like my sources of removal here. And considering the matchup, actually wait, I have the Mudflat Village. I don't have black mana for this. I just realized, oh no. Crap. We do get the Cavern of Souls, but oof, not being able to play my bitter. Oh man. Okay. They're not investing extra. Okay. We're gonna play Caramonics, the Rat King, as we're about to draw into a swamp. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. And we discard a Persistent Marstalker there because we can bring that back potentially later. Right now, we did get a card out of them. They could have another one. I want to block with both. With 3 health. Like, we could get 2 cards out of them here. But it's looking to be that, exactly. Okay. We're in a situation where we just cannot, like... Who am I going to take away the ability from? I get power to this, so it's kind of pointless. I think, onto the Heartfire Hero. We're gonna mill ourselves with this, and we're gonna play the persistent Marsh Stalker and try to set up a solid line of defense as we still wait for our swap, man. Like, this is rough. The Mudflat Village, not it here. We could be in a situation where they give trample and then we just kind of okay. We can pick you off. Okay, that was not that bad. Making really good use of the Namin Vermin there, as we are really close to being able to take away power. There is our source of black finally. Okay. We need to keep surviving. Okay, but we kill that before it can, like, deal damage to us upon dying. Okay, that's the Lax Creature. Alright, can we stabilize here? Can we stabilize here? I think the play is clear. We go for the Namin. Like, we have the removal. We have the Mind Whisker. The Mind Whisker could be absolutely essential here. I'm going to target the electrostatic infantry to take away the trample and the prowess from that, and preventing it from blocking. Azure Beastbinder here, just putting in the work, and now we're going to go for the Mind Whisker. Because the Mind Whisker, now the threshold is met, all of our opponent's creatures have -1 power. That's exactly what I need to be able to mitigate this. I'm gonna block into you. Okay. Clear that. Clear that and we draw into a land. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Getting rid of this is a problem, though. I'm gonna spawn that. I could kill you even though I take the damage from you. We're taking a bunch of damage here. Just gotta hope that they don't top deck anything crazy. That's not what we want to see. Damn, man. Damn. I'm gonna do this now because they could top deck something like they could top deck something like the like this, for example. Just top deck that though. Okay. If I bring in the non-vermin and I bring those back, how much damage am I looking at here? No, we don't need to do that now. We need to put them on a 2-turn clock, and this is the way to do it. With the persistent Marshtalker, we'll be able to punch, and we'll be able to kill them next turn. We just have to, like, not die to a top deck here. Please, no shock, no lightning strike. Oh, there we go! Nice! Level up! Oh, man. Oh, that was too close for comfort. Like, the mana screw was unreal. Kind of regretting adding the Mudflat Village. There's more of an argument for the Lilypad Village because we only use it to cast creatures. But in this case, this particular land actually really set us back. And we gotta be careful with that. Round 2. Legend. Just that. Legend. That's how they go. Now this is a hand with sources of black mana. Feels good, man. I didn't actually know, like, do I go first or do I go second? Like, I kind of ignored that detail because my hand was a keep regardless. But yeah, this is a hand that benefits from going first. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Let's go for the Underground River. And we're going to develop... We're going to go with the Shoreline Looter. They don't have Cut Down, which is what I was concerned about. But right now, there's no board for me to interact with, so... I want to have... Okay. I think just getting rid of you is fine. We play the Dark Slick Shores. And we mill ourselves here as we go wide. Now the combination of Shoreline Looter and Azure Beast Binder allows me to bypass pretty much any set of blocks and keep pushing. We are at 4 cards. Once we get to the threshold, we'll be drawing off of this. Obviously, like, discard mechanics are to be expected here. The Lilypad Village is nice. But, whoa. I mean, if you're going to give me that unit, you must have some sort of, like, interaction. Like, if they block into that, I'll kill it. Okay. So that, see how that works? Like, I just weaken it. I'm gonna play Lord Skitter's Butcher just to spread out a little bit more. I was planning on sacking the Gnawing Vermin, but my opponent just kind of like gave me the value without having to invest more into it. I don't want them to discard my last card. Like, that would be annoying. Like, I'd love to see something like a Shieldred here. Yeah, that is definitely annoying, but not something that's absolutely unmanageable here. going to target myself, and I'm going to target the hostile investigator with the Azure Beastbinder. Going to continue to mill myself. And just keep punching damage. Keep pushing damage. Anything else in the discard won't trigger more investigation. Okay. Well, that's one way to do it. Damn. We sack that to draw. Oh my god, that is the actual, like, perfect top deck. Caramonics can bring us right back into this. We do need to not get screwed, though. Okay. I'm actually going to develop Azure Beastbinder because I want to use my Lilypad Village to surveil. I'm going to use the village here because a rat entered the board this turn to surveil 2. And what I'm looking for is to get these persistent Marstalkers into the graveyard. We have one. And those are just top decks that we do not need. So this surveil was extremely useful. I just need for my rat to stick, bro. You gonna sack the clue? They are, okay. Whoa. Whoa, what is that? You must have removal. We're gonna bring back the Marstalker. All we need is one rat to be able to do this. And now we throw in lethal. Now we force something out of them. There it is. And we're gonna drop Vren the Relentless. Vren has Ward. This Braids has no ability. This turn until the next turn, it just doesn't have any abilities. Azure Beastbinder shuts it out. And we gotta keep developing these rats. Vren with the Ward is really important because with Vren and this, it's unless they just go with. Okay. Okay, they clear that, but what do you do against my Restless Reef? This has been a gruesome game. Mono Black is definitely strong. Black just has a lot of good stuff. And this spell really puts in the work. Cut down won't do it though. Right now we have lethal ahead of us. We have lethal on site. We have lethal on site, and you can bet your ass. I'm going for it. Let's get it! Land. Unforgivable. I was thinking of like a clever retort or something, but I drowned. Within my own mind, I drowned. Swamp into vermin. Let's get working on those mills. We hit 2 creatures, which is fantastic because we need lands. And we have 2 legendary creatures that we already have in hand. So this mill was amazing. Okay, don't even think about like what this thing does. Awesome. Good shit. I'm gonna keep this Bitter Triumph instead of developing the Persistent Marstalker. I want to make sure that I can answer. And I need that land. I need that land bad. Please give me that land. Thank you. If they get a big hit off on us, so be it. I want to develop this Lord Skitter now. Get the engine rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they go for the hit now, fine. Yeah, they're holding on to it, and we're going to punish that greed. Oh boy, are we going to punish it. Oh boy, are we going to punish it. Now that we have Lord Skitter, we have this engine online. We don't have to invest more onto the board. They could remove him, but if they had a lightning strike, they would have gone for it on the attack. Now we're gonna let them build up, because they've been building up the spells. They want a huge hit, and we're gonna deny that. Because I was not born yesterday. I know how mono red does. I know how mono red be. The moment you start showing off, you know, racking up those spells, getting that monstrous rage in there, that demonic whatever, I'm gonna shoot you down. It's gonna be bittersweet, but not really. Come at me, bro. Come at me. That's why, you know, if you play black mid-range, run removal. It's one of the reasons to play black to begin with. The best color at single target removal. All sorts of options for 2 mana that can adjust to your deck specifically. And in this case, we run Bitter Triumph because of the potential synergy with our Threshold mechanic. You know, sending something like the Marstalker onto the graveyard with this can actually be beneficial. Because the graveyard effect from this, even though it's 1 more, it allows it's haste, right? You're paying 1 more mana, but it has haste. I think this card is really what makes this deck, like, strong. And of course, this 3-drop is bonkers now that there's enough good quality rats. What the fuck just happened? Okay. I'm going to keep building my rat army. Did you go AFK? What's funny is that them passing there is actually kind of better than attacking. You know, it seems like, oh wow, okay, the game turned easy for you. Yeah, but I didn't spend any mana that turn. And they continue to build up their resources, so they could find a second attacker of this nature that could just like plow through me. But I think they just left. I think they got salty and they left. Happens a lot. You know what's unforgivable? This waste of my time. It's not that hard, man. If you queue into a game in Magic, just like stick through it. Don't be a bitch. I don't know, it's my opinion. Oh, you're alive? Guys, they're alive. Will you look at that? Okay, judging by that, they definitely don't have more plays. We're gonna bitter triumph, finally kill this thing. It's funny, like the kind of like stalemate that we were in, but now we get to work. Maybe a bit late for it, but toxic, baby. Oh, now we're gonna draw lands. Okay. I mean, it may seem like this was a botched game, but to be honest, like, I couldn't really do anything until they attacked with that, basically, or committed to it. So it was kind of a stalemate. Another lightning strike. Look at all that damage my rats are sponging for me. Why would you give? Why would you not give in these double strike? What do you? Just missed out on 2 damage for literally no reason. I can't with this Papiga shit. I'm gonna decline that. Okay, so that's 3 damage. Let's think about this for a moment. That's 3 damage. Which means setting up these critters here is the way to go. What, you're gonna full swing? Can you use your brain for a moment? Like, why are you not targeting those birds? Like, can somebody explain to me what this person is doing? Like, I don't mean to be toxic, but sometimes when I just run into this shit, it actually does kind of piss me off because it's just like, wait, think. Check. You give me a real game, check. We keep. Don't have to look at it much to know that we keep. We got that 9 vermin. And we got that curve into 3. And a pretty successful mill there. Because we don't need another Mind Whisker. Mono red, okay. I'm gonna keep both blockers in the back because they have a demonic ruckus there that can provide menace to something. Okay. All right. I actually want to play the Mind Whisker first. Because I can surveil at the beginning of my turn. It's probably going to get removed. Get a shock there. We don't have the blocks here. And Azure Beastbinder shuts that down again. What an amazing 2-drop. Like, what an incredible 2-drop here. Are they going to go for the Rock Face Village? If they do, they tap out. The Emberheart Challenger here is strong. But the Vermin comes in, clears that. They lose the Lightning Strike. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I should have probably done this earlier, but after attacking, like I missed out on some value there. Still pinging ourselves, which isn't great, but we really got to maximize our mana here. We got to play fast. Okay. He's got to keep wearing them down, keep chump blocking them. The threshold is met. I repeat, the threshold has been met. And I'm just going to develop Lord Scare's Butcher to spread out a bit. Get rid of that. They do draw off of this. But now we have card draw too with the Shoreline Looter. And we're at 8 health. The Offspring though, that is a great draw. Kind of wish there was more to it, but I don't know why they didn't apply all the buffs into that one then. But what I do know is that I'm blocking all into the double attacker there. And clearing their board. Clearing their board. And taking it back, let's go! Alright, Luke. No more mono red, right? Like, we've had enough mono red for the day. Mono black. Man, there's a lot of this. Let's drop one of the lands since we're pretty good on land so far. I can drop the Mind Whisker here. Could be really good if it's not answered, though. Definitely don't want to drop Ren the Relentless. None of these creatures, but I have to choose one, and I think it has to be you. Develop the Azure Beastbinder. As they cut down. We play 3 Tree City. Select Rack, and we're gonna go Lord Skitter's Butcher to generate a rat token. This protects us from stuff like the Liana of the Veil, Shoulder's Edict. Alright. And we play Ren the Relentless. Just do not have the blue mana to trigger this, which sucks. I don't want to play into the Mishra's Foundry. I'm gonna play the Persistent Marstalker. Oh man.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my thing. I've always hated it. It's no fun when they hit back.
They keep that at the top. What is that? Okay.
A fight? And you think you can win? Drop it.
Oh boy, are you dead? Oh, oh, oh. Let's get it! Dude, persistence! Persistence, baby, let's go! Mr. Hottie. guess that's our final boss for today. Alright, this is a keeper. We got that Source of Blue on Restless Reef. We have no turn 1 play, so the perfect moment to drop this land, and then we can follow it up with our swamps and get to work. We see a Fabled Passage. That could mean many things. It could be one of those ramp decks. We see blue, though. I want to lead off with the Shoreline Looter. I see blue. I want to develop this. If I saw black, then things would change, but I think it's a slow deck, and I want to capitalize on that lack of speed. I'm going to go ahead and develop Lord Skitter for the same reason. Get rid of stuff in their graveyard. And then discard the Persistent Marstalker. Perfect. Perfect. Filling up our graveyard, putting that online. We could see a Brotherhood's End there. Instead, we see the Invasion of Takir, which allows him to reveal a dragon and deal 4 damage in total. Okay. I'm going to develop Caramonics. And look at that value. Look at that insane. Insane value. Giving Toxic to my rats as well. And now, what am I going to send over there? What's like less useful? I'm going to get rid of the Azure. I feel like the Shoreline Looters are more important here. They develop that. They miss a land drop, which is huge for a deck like that. I'm going to go ahead and develop another Source of Blue. Doesn't hurt here. We need to be able to deal with this effective immediately. But we'd also like to not play like super into a wipe. But if they had one, they would have gone for one already. So I'm going to go for the throat. I'm going to develop the Lord Skitter. Keep attacking the graveyard. Oh yeah. That'll do. Toasty. I guess you're our final boss, Toasty. We're missing blue. But we have a curve at the edge of the hand here, regardless. So I'm going to keep this hand. As we mill away stuff that we don't need right now, which is great, because we need a blue source of mana. Not more black, we need blue. So getting rid of these two is nice. We exile a card. I'm going to get rid of Bitter Triumph. Because it seems like this is just a very graveyard-centric sort of deck. Sorry, discard-centric deck. And now I'm going to play Caramonics. Even though we are opening up for a go for the throw here, which they pretty clearly have. What matters is I get the draw off of this. But also that I threaten the Toxic and force them to remove. Come on, show me a good pull here. Beautiful. Look at that value. Look at that value. This is why we run this as a 4 of, man. Like, this card is nuts in this deck. It's just absurd the amount of... I could try to play Lord Skitter, but they clearly have a bunch of removal, so I'm going to try to get other stuff out of them. Yeah, they have removal. So I'm going to throw my weaker stuff at them. Wait, are you serious? Okay. I'm going to play the Mind Whisker. That was a cut down that could have gone to the Mind Whisker. You have another one? Nah, you have a go for the throat, see? Eventually, you'll run out of removal. And I... will preserve this go for the throat. Target opponent exiles a card from their hand. The Mind Whisker is really what we don't need here. And that's a good target to just get rid of. Trigger the Shoreline Looter one last time. And go wide. Go wide. Hope they don't have like a cover up here, which is like the scariest thing. Okay, so they're getting rid of all my Lord Skitters, which includes one in my hand. Definitely hurts. We do draw a card off of it. An experience is always a land, but in this case it's not the case. Ah, and after we draw, they go for the thing. Okay. Alright, fine, okay. Okay, cheeky. Sure, cheeky. I could go for the Restless Reef here. And I will. Mill myself. Get some good damage in there and get some card draw as well. Very important. Very important. And I want to keep this land in hand because if they have more discard mechanics, we shut that down. Let's go!